back. This is Friendly Your Pocket Conversations with Hopenation. And today's a great day, as always. Today is, a great day. I was going to tell you the date, but we don't use the date because then you can use this for all time. It's dateless. I don't know where I was going with that one. Anyway, so this is our last broadcast in the month of February. I said it was going to be, but it's not. So it's not dateless. And this is the end of Black History Month. They looking at me like, what the hell? The end of Black History Month. We won't clap for it because we don't want it to end. Black History Month should be all year long. So last night I was watching an episode of Blackish, and they did their Black History Month episode. Well, it's like Blackish is like Black History he's like Dre is like Dre. And like Big Dre, he's like the angry black man, right? We love, because he wants everybody to know about it. He's very passionate about Black history and about his family being black and being proud, and at the same time being affluent and knowing where you come from. So it's cool. I really like Blackish because it reminds me a lot of my family. Because you got the parents, Dre's parents, who are old school people from the 60s and the 70s. They did their thing, and then him and Bo are like the next generation that came out of that, and they're like well-to-do. He works as like a PR firm doing like advertising, marketing. Come on, girl, thank you. Advertising stuff, and Rainbow is a doctor. So it's pretty cool. And then their kids are all kind of lost, not knowing where they want to go because they've been so blessed to have so much and not to have to struggle. So they're able to find their way through life. So it reminds me of my family. It's cool. Anyway, right, Mom? Mm-hmm. She's like Dre's mom. And my father is definitely like, Lawrence Fishburne is definitely like my father. So anyway, so they did their Black History episode, and it was basically, he always wants the school to teach more Black history. And they were doing the same people. And this is a conversation that we had, the same people. Name some of the same people that you hear of Black history. Off the top of your head. Yes. Exactly. And no, they need to. We know that. But a lot of people don't celebrate him, which is unfortunate because who he was. But yeah. And those were the same people that they were talking about. So then he said he would do Lewis Lattimore because he was going to go to the school and do a presentation himself. And they were like, the kids were like, oh, he's so old. And if you don't know who Lattimore was partners with Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin was stealing all his ideas, and he had the patent for light bulbs. But if you go dig a little deeper, Tesla actually ripped off a lot of Lattimore's ideas, and the whole free energy thing and whatnot. And Lattimore was like pioneering that. And if you go deeper, Benjamin Banneker, we've had scientists who have all been ripped off, and a lot of times because of the color of their skin, they weren't able to get patents as freely as white people were. So he didn't even talk about the Tesla connection, which I thought he did. I thought he was going to go there because California, they were driving Teslas and hybrids and stuff like that. So I just knew he was going to go there, and he didn't. And I was like, Dad, that was a missed opportunity on the show, because I think if he would have made the Tesla connection to Lattimore, then the kids kind of would have saw it. But now you're talking about light bulbs. We don't even really use light bulbs anymore because we use LEDs. So anyway, I digress. But it's important to know Black history, not just the people that they show you time after time after time. What was that noise? You heard that?
The train.
Oh, not the train.
I heard
you heard it too. The cameraman took, right?
Nah,
okay.
That's something else.
Anyway, so I often talk about this woman, and I'm going to talk about a little bit about Black history. Annie Malone, or Annie Turnbow Malone. I talked about her on many things. I used to do my talks about my book, and I used to go out and do classes. She is the first African American woman millionaire. Not Madam C.J. Walker. She actually taught Madam C.J. Walker. And a lot of people don't understand that. She was from Peoria, Illinois, and then made her way to St. Louis, where she founded orphanages, a college called the Poro College, named after a Sierra Leone tribe of men. It was like a secret society, and they taught each other discipline and spirituality, physically, mental. It was all about wellness. So she named her institute Poro college, and it was for cosmetology based on the principles from African descendants. And she did that because she wanted everybody who was getting the hair care and the people selling her products to understand how closely we are to our African descendants. And in that, Madam C.J. Walker worked for her for like maybe 3 or 4 years before she went on to start her own enterprise. And we don't give her enough credit. She was the first black person in America with a Rolls Royce. Let me give you the dates. She was born in 1869 and she died in 1957. Okay? So she started her empire in mid-20s, but she was learning. And because people were putting like goose fat in their hair, bacon, all types of crazy stuff. They were even like carding their hair. Carding is how you get the sheep hair out, that brush. And she said, all those techniques were damaging the scalp. And her aunt, because her parents died at a very early age, her aunt and her, taught her the ways of the ancestors, how you treat hair and how you made hair straight. And her whole thing was not damaging the scalp. So in that short period of time, she had 75,000 agents all over the globe, not just in America. This is Virgin Islands. She had 75,000. I don't know if you understand that number coming from a time. We're talking about the 20s when they went, World War I, I think it was. We're going through wars and recessions, and this woman is becoming a millionaire. She paid the highest taxes of any African American person. Her taxes were like $42,000. So, like I said, she started an orphanage. She started a college. And if you go to St. Louis, she has a whole street named after, because all of those are the buildings. She actually gave endowments to Howard University. She actually gave the money to start the first YWCA in St. Louis. This woman was phenomenal. She married the wrong man and, kind of lost a lot for money. But for the greater part of her life, she was thriving, and she taught so many people how to become successful business people. You worked for her, she gave you diamond rings if you worked for her for 5 years. Like she knew about treating the people that work with you fairly and showing them a better way. So I just want you to all, when you think, don't just think about the person that they've constantly been shoving down your throat since you was a little kid. Dig deeper. There's always somebody that came before that person. And I'm sure there's another person that came before her. But I don't want you to just think Madam C.J. Walker. She's not the be-all, end-all. You got to dig deeper. So that is my Black History Month segment. And I just, encourage you to teach your children everything. Everything we touch has been basically made and cultivated by a Black person. Everything. Just do the research. So, how do you feel about that lesson?
That's very good. I didn't know that. Yeah, I wish I would have known a lot of this stuff when I was in high school. But I would have definitely challenged some of my teachers.
I wish I was at your high school.
Yeah, word, because all this stuff,
that they
taught us is just all wrong. Even, I ain't gonna lie, even that stuff, they taught us some wrong stuff.
You think so?
Yeah. Because we didn't know none of this.
That's awful. And when, I have to shout out.
Because they do the same stories
over and over
of the
again.
Same people.
Yeah.
So you don't even get any of the extras for Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Or for, it's still just the same, I have a dream, he dies. But what about before that?
They don't even talk about the speeches that he gave that got him killed. The 3 speeches after the I Had a Dream. Boycotting, the big companies and stuff. Mm-hmm. And having them feeling the pain. Shout out to Booker T. Coleman. He goes by another name right now. And I'm having an old folks moment. If you look him up, Booker T. Coleman, he's on Hidden Colors. His new name, Kaba Kameen. Okay, Kaba Kameen. Respect. I'm so sorry. You can find him on Hidden Colors. You can Google him. It's Kaba. Kamene. And he's always a consultant on Black studies whenever they do Hidden Colors or any kind of documentary. But he also has his own videos and he teaches. And I went to a school in the Bronx called CES 229. And I was 9 years old, between the ages of 7 and 10. He taught us. He would have us come in this big open auditorium and he would teach us Swahili. we would count. We know how to count in Swahili. We know how to we spoke phrases in Swahili. He taught us about the Nile Valley and the Kush Valley. He taught us these things, and they stuck with me as as I grew up, which gave me a further thirst. My father was really into that stuff, and then he reinforced it, and it gave me a thirst for Black studies. So I did a lot of Black studies in college as well, because I know there's more to our story than just slavery, and just Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and all these things that they teach us. They don't even teach us about what's his? Thank you. You in my mind, girl. That's a millennial. They don't teach about Marcus Garvey, and because they kind of demonize him because he felt like we should all go back to Africa. I was recently watching a video of Akon, and he was saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing. If we took all of our talents as Black people, right? If we took all of our talents, whatever it is, and we did that, what would America still have?
Nothing.
They would just have what we lead them with, right? But all of the newer innovations would not exist. And he said that he made that statement, and now the NBA is going into Africa and creating a 10-team league in Africa. Why are they doing that? You know why they're doing that, because that's what talent is. So Black history isn't about, my history is better than yours, but my history came before your history, and you can't have your history without this history. So we gotta really teach our kids that. We gotta teach the kids that. We gotta,
like they don't know.
They don't know. That's the sad part, and the people that's teaching them don't know. And so it's a generational thing. But we gotta start our own. We gotta do our own, and that's why if you look up Kaba Kameen, he has schools in Brooklyn where they're teaching young kids, younger than 9 and 10. I mean, young. They're teaching them straight comedics, straight up from the time they can learn to college, level. So comedics is very important. Teach your kids that, research it first, understand what it is, and do that. So that's where I'm at with it. I can go deeper, but it'll get controversial. So I'll try to keep it a little light. So let's go into our Oscars recap with Around the Way with Man. Clap for us! Yeah. You clap boy. I wanted all the people to clap. Anyway.
So in light of the whole Black history, the Black Panther, they won a lot of Oscars this season.
They looking at you. I know what you look like.
Yeah.
You welcome.
But so Black.
So you want me to help you out with that? Because I have a name.
Oh, you do have a name. Oh yeah. Okay. I have the fashion stuff.
She has the fashion stuff. All right. So she's right. Let's get into that. So let's shout out to Best Costume Design for Black Panther 1 2 Ruth Carter.
Yes.
All right. Tanner Beechler won for Best, I can't even see what I wrote. Ooh, Lord. Best Set Design, right?
Okay.
So, the costumes, the set design won, and then they also had the Best Original Score. That wasn't by a Black person, but it was still in the movie. And he actually went to college with Ryan Coogler, so that was pretty cool. He employed all of his friends, which was dope. That's what Black people do. That's what we're supposed to do. We go in-house and then out. And then, so then we had those. So those are the 3 that won for Black Panther. It should have won best film. We saw The Green Book. It was good. If you had to put them in the category, Black Panther definitely should have won because it had every element, that was needed. I don't know why Green Book won. But a win for Green Book was a win for Mahershala Ali, Best Supporting Actor.
Right.
Question: why?
Supporting.
Yeah, why was he supported?
He was the main character.
He sure was.
Who was
the Villalongo family were the writers on the movie, so they wanted to tell Tony the Lip's story. So basically, the story was more about Tony the Lip, but you wouldn't have had a Tony the Lip story if you didn't have a Dr. Shirley story.
So, who won Best Actor?
Not him. But he was up for it though.
Oh, word?
Yeah, he lost. Who won Best Actor? Oh, for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
So anyway,
he was best actor.
No, I mean he did play a really good Frankie Mercury. I mean he did. He was really him. So I mean, if we're looking at it like that, it was like when Denzel Washington was Malcolm X. Like you couldn't even like get them apart. So it was good. Who are you laughing at? Anyway, also Octavia Spencer. She put that cash up. She's a producer on The Green Book, and she got an Oscar. So she's showing you the growth. She got her Oscar, and now she's putting her money where her mouth is, and she put her money into a good project, and it got her another Oscar. So
she got an Oscar dope. Before?
Yeah, for The Help. I think it was.
Supporting actress.
Yeah. She's always a supporting actress. She's playing in a lot of great movies, supporting. She won for more than that, so I can't think of the other movie right off the hand. So yeah, you know, the Oscars was pretty black.
Regina Hall, Spike Lee.
Yeah, Regina Hall. Regina Hall. Did you like her? Did you like the way she looked?
Yeah, she looked nice. It's a custom.
And I can't help you with that.
Oscar de la
Renta. Yes, Oscar de la Renta. Yes, it was.
Custom high thigh dress.
Yeah, you like
That's
that?
nice.
She knew she was gonna win, didn't she?
I think so.
I think so. She came ready to win. She had her speech already. Her mama was there. She was ready. She was more ready than Tiffany Haddish. She was ready.
She had an Oscar for worst stand-up. She won.
Oh. They call those the Razzies. like you know, worst movie, the worst of everything. They even have the Oscars for that. I think that happens this week. Or it happened already. So yeah, she could. I ain't gonna.
That last movie I went to go see, it definitely won the award.
What movie?
I don't know.
I forgot all about it. Not that again. Yeah, that. Like I said.
So that's definitely gonna ring the.
Oh, Razzie?
Yeah.
They probably won't because it's a black movie and they probably don't want to get slapped. But no, they could though. Like Snakes on a Plane, like that kind of movie wins a Razzie.
That's a funny movie.
Yeah, I never really seen it.
Nah, I've seen it a couple times.
You shouldn't do that to your
It's funny though.
Whatever. Like Pootie Tang.
That's a fire movie.
No, it was not.
Pootie Tang.
Salah said, run that penny on the run tab. Like what? They should. I love my black people, but you know, between Robert Townsend and what's my dude name? All of them. Anyway, I had something I was gonna say.
I was in one more other movie too.
Oh goodness, they making me forget what?
Undercover Brother.
Oh, no. I didn't watch that either. I didn't watch it. Wait a minute, what was I gonna say? Oh, Spike. Sorry. Spike Lee, go Brooklyn. Yeah. He had the purple on. He knew he was winning. He had his unk on. He was praying on the unk. The ancestors was there. He had Radio Raheem on each fist. You know, he came to win. He had the gold J's on. Come on. He knew he was winning. So, I'm happy for him. I didn't see the movie. I tried to watch it. It was a hard watch. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Every movie that's
right?
Yeah, every movie that my God makes, I don't really particularly care for. I love the effort. I love what he puts into it. Did y'all see that Dracula movie? Did any of you watch that with me? He had this like vampire movie. It was crazy. But maybe a few years ago. Anyway, I'm happy he won for that. Like I said, I tried to watch The Black Klansman. It didn't keep me, nor did If Beale Street Can Talk. I'm gonna just be honest with you. And I read that book in junior high school. And so they didn't hold me. And I'm one of those kind of people, you gotta get me in like the first 10 or 15 minutes. But I am gonna make a concerted effort to watch, and I will be reporting back. But I did see Green Book, so, you know, I was well versed in that, but the other movies, not so much. Anyway. I have to be honest.
What movie did Regina King win for?
If Beale Street Can Talk.
Oh.
Yeah, she was the mommy. So, that said, also a little known fact about Anna Malone School to Poro College. Chuck Berry went there, and he had the hair, right. Mr. Johnny B. Good, and he was a student, and he actually graduated from her cosmetology school. Oh, so, wow. Right? See? The brain got to spin around, you know. be forgetting stuff. But yeah, so that's all I want to say about black folks. Even though this is an entire black show. And Tay is here. She's just being really good. Let's keep on going. Oh, no. Let's not talk her up. So fashion, Oscar fashion.
So I like Regina's outfit. My only other really favorite was Casey Musgrave.
That's okay. She doesn't have to be black.
Yeah, no.
But she was like,
in there, but she looked nice.
She had the layered, lacy. She looked like a birthday cake. You can cut her.
People refer her to a loofah.
It did look a little loofah.
Yeah.
A layered loofah.
Oh, boy.
But I said,
nice.
it
It
did
looked
look
nice
nice.
and neat.
She looked flowy and dainty. And
Yeah.
if you just ripped off the bottom 2 layers, she'd had herself a nice party dress. Like, she could have put zippers there, and they could have unzipped it. It would have been dope. So, anyway. So.
But yeah, that was my only 2 favorites.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you like Spike Lee's outfit?
No.
No.
Good effort, but no.
The colors are nice.
regal.
It's very regal. It's a victory color for sure. Oh my God, y'all are crazy. So crazy.
You know, I love glasses. So
His glasses were nice, yeah.
That was
His wife looked really nice too. She looked nice. Everybody looked good. That's what we have to say. Glenn Close's outfit was 52 pounds. Little knows that. She had the gold heavy ensemble. I was worried about osteoporosis taking over and then breaking her back. But anyway, it's kind of old.
That's crazy.
50 pounds, yeah, it was very heavy. But so she wore that, you know. But anyway, so we're gonna take it back to seriousness. Look at my face, it's so serious. And we're gonna head over to Tam Tips. She has some tips for you workers.
Okay, so this week's TAM tip is resume writers guaranteeing jobs. So I've been seeing it a lot on Instagram. Other resume pages are guaranteeing that they can get you a job. Well, that's impossible unless they're the person doing the hiring. So a lot of them are saying they can guarantee it. A lot of them are offering interview coaching and all these things, which is great, and it can contribute to you getting a job. But ultimately, it depends on you. If you bomb in an interview, then what? Or if they just didn't like the way you interviewed, or they didn't like what you had on, or the list can go on. The person writing your resume cannot guarantee a job. So please do not fall for that. I've even seen some where they're telling people to pay for it, and they're taking money, and they're guaranteeing jobs that you just can't guarantee.
They're taking money.
Like, you just can't. And it's a lot of scamming going on, and it's always the people who are in more desperate situations that are falling victim to it. But just know that they cannot guarantee you a job. It's just not going to happen. And then also, I have some guides on the site. One is free. The other offer comes in a bundle where you get a thank you guide, a follow-up guide, and a resignation letter guide, because a lot of people do not know how to follow up after an interview. A lot of people do not know how to quit properly. The point is leaving a great impression even when you leave, because you just might run across those people again. The job that you're trying to go to, even after you accept the position, may still reach back out to your previous boss and ask how you were. Because a lot of times they won't put you in the hot seat by calling them beforehand, but they will still double check how you are as an employee. And if you leave on a bad note, chances are they're going to say that. So you want to always leave a lasting impression no matter what. I think most people don't know that for some reason. You start slacking on your work. Oh, I'm quitting anyways. I don't got to do that. Because you just might run into those people again. You might need them. That company might be hiring for something in the next 2 years that you then elevated for, and you'll be a great fit for it. But guess what? You burnt that bridge. So you always want to do things in a way that's going to leave a positive, lasting impression with everybody that you come into work with. unless they just got it coming. But for the most part, you just want to do what you're supposed to do because it's a reflection of you. It's not anybody else.
That's right. And like she said,
That's it.
you don't want to burn bridges, even if you can swim. You know that quote, I burn bridges, I know how to swim. No, you don't want to do that. You can have to swim really far. So you don't want to do that. So just don't burn the bridge.
And you don't know who knows who.
You don't. All my jobs came through somebody I knew, you know, that I used to work for, or if it didn't happen like that, somebody I used to work for worked there already, and once they saw me coming through the door, they was like, oh, she's good. Or, you know, whatever. I don't know what else they said. Oh, she got pink hair, whatever the case. But how it goes, this world is too small for you to think that you're not going to know somebody wherever you go. So just always carry yourself like that.
Right.
All right? So quit properly. It's important. Unless you hit the lotto and you can say, you can flip him the bird and, you know, just be out.
I ain't coming back.
You know, and that's the only time we recommend you leave like that. Have an epic quit if you hit the lotto. Unless
wait till you get the money though.
Yeah, unless you spend the money too fast.
Right.
You know, have an accountant. But now I want to check in with Mama Pocket. Thank you, Tim, for those tips.
Yeah.
Awesome tips. That was a swoosh. What you doing?
What?
I thought you was going like that. I thought you was giving my alley-oop. Oh, what about what Rashad said now? Passing the buck on air. Listen, I just was passing it to Mama Pocket because she is still in recovery after having major back surgery. And this has been a very interesting time since October 29th. It's been very interesting. And I, for certainly, I did not know. And I've had a lot of, you know, minor surgeries and some surgery or whatever. But I didn't know that she was going to be as affected, and then which taught me a valuable lesson. If you have something broke on you now, please get it fixed while you're young. Because the way you heal and the way you tolerate surgeries is totally different in your 60s and 70s than when you're like in your 40s and 30s and 20s. So if you have something that is definitely going to need to be repaired along the line, and I don't say you want to get any kind of surgery, but if you got a knee that's damaged, if you got a shoulder, if you got a back, do what you need to do now, whether it's yoga, exercising, but do not wait until you get a little older because the recovery is rough. And if you don't have a good support system, you won't be in trouble. Because if she didn't have us, she would be in Shady Pond. I'm telling you right now. I'm being honest. Like, she couldn't live alone and have recovered the way she did. It's impossible. So if you don't have kids, or you're a parent, your kids don't like you, or I don't know, you know, if you just that person, have your surgery now while you're young. So that's what I can say about, you know, spine fusion surgery. It was one of the worst recoveries I've seen in my life. And she's still recovering, like the mental stuff that has going on. But I'm talking about in terms of pain, you know, you still limp, you still need a cane, you still need to be very careful because you got, you know, metal on your back. It's a lot, you know. And she doesn't even remember anything that happened in October, the end of October, November, not December. She just doesn't remember stuff. So, like, you gotta have a lot of patience. And I'm thankful that I have all these people and other people that are not here right now that have helped us through this because I don't know how I did it. It was rough. So I was asking her, you know, what would be her recommendation to her peers or someone thinking about having surgery? You know, and, you know, the expectations, like, because I honestly think she believed that she was going to have the surgery and she was going to be better by boom, by the bang. And I'm thinking that's what you thought, right? Because I just know my mother, like.
Well, I did think that. The major pain is gone, but I didn't know it was going to take this long to recover. And then I still have pain. So the pain I thought the pain was going to be gone, and it's not.
Right. So,
and I thought I was going to have back pain, like where they did the surgery. There was no pain near. It's still like within.
Leg pain, aches and pain, yeah.
So get it done early.
It's tough to watch.
Definitely have a support group because they tell me I was doing stuff that I can't even remember.
Crazy stuff.
Pushing people.
And that's pushing and accusing people. Talking talking about food is under the table, the chair that's not there for days now. And there was some other stuff
that we don't want to talk about.
Definitely could have wound up in Shady Pines. Stuff we find weeks later. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. But yeah, it was pretty rough. And still, like, you know, when you with a parent and you with your mean old parent from when they were like when you were young, and it was that mean old rough parent, and they turn a little older, it's a difficult transition, especially when it kind of happens overnight. So I knew she was getting older. You know, you could see your parent getting older, but to watch her go from being her lively self to helpless and, you know, really needing you and stuff like that, it was like, wow, this is crazy. So it's something, if you're close to your parents, it's something you really, like, got to get used to, because it's a whole set of, like, I'll say depression or whatever that comes with it for you as a child, because you're starting to see your parent, you know, go into that geriatric stage, and it's kind of like sad because you want them to be quick like how they used to be, and they can't be. And there was a time, now I'm going to get on myself, there was a time where I, you know, when I was, you know, much heavier and unhealthy, and him, that one right there, he tells me, Mom, you and Dad are just falling apart. I wish I could be the way I used to be. And I was like, oh, my feelings were so hurt. And then, you know, I went to this mean doctor, and he said some crazy stuff. And that's, you know, and then Dr. said me that, and I went vegan, and I turned my life around. But those things had to happen to me because I was already wanting to make changes, but I don't know, maybe I didn't have the fire. But for me, him feeling like that about me, and I know how I was feeling about my mother, I was like, oh no, I'm too young to be like being talked to like this. I'm gonna fall apart at 40, and I get it together. So I got it together, you know. So I'm here.
Thank me for you being.
Yeah, but he said it was right. He was standing right here. I'll never forget. And he told me and his father was falling apart. And
but I didn't say it. She made it seem like I said it in like.
No, he did.
I was like a trainer or something.
No, you was worse than a trainer because you looked up like as you was doing something.
I said it with compassion.
No,
I was like, yo,
hell no.
I want you and Dad to be like how y'all was before.
Yeah, I mean, he had a look of, it was like disgust / sadness. It was like he was fed up. And it was like, damn, where's that coming from? Like, I want to be back to where I was too.
Did it to me.
Yeah, so yeah, it's the feeling you get. So when I got that from him, I was like, oh, I didn't get my ish together because he ain't gonna be talking to me like that, and I'm only 40.
And look, you showed all of us, right?
Yeah, show up, show out, you know. So yeah, so that was part of my reasoning for the health quest and everything. And me and his father have gotten it together. I got more to get together, but you know, definitely way better than I was when he told me that crap. So I learned to take constructive criticism, you know, and not only just take it, but actually do something about it. So that's what I did. And then eating fruit. Oh, here we go. Fruit challenge. My old supervisor, Donald Cofield from Good Shepherds, has challenged moi in March to go the whole march on fruit and water. Ooh, baby. I don't know. I'm gonna do the best that I actually can. You know, because as you see, I'm vitamin deprived. You see, guys, I have to get B12 shots for the rest of my life because my body doesn't make vitamin B12, and that can kill me. So I don't know if I can just go without having everything, but I'm gonna see what I can do. Donald Cofield, I accept your challenge.
I'm gonna try it.
We're gonna try it. Team FIYP.
We got a whole bunch of fruit.
Yeah, we gotta go to Brooklyn and Queens where they got fruit. You know, good fruit, tropical fruit.
You got what you wanted. You want to be a giant.
Clementine. You want to be a Clementine.
Now here's your chance to show out.
So we gonna be. So we gonna do that. So lastly, as he's clowning mommy, I want to just talk a little bit briefly about the time periods we live in. The crack epidemic hit about 1984. We're in 2019. We're like 40 years, like 35 solid years of crack. You break the number of drugs, right? You got the drug, you got the crack babies, you got the crackheads that are still living. I got some in my family. It is what it is. And you got the crack babies and crack grandbabies. So we have all these generations of a drug that has affected whether you sold it, whether you used it. If you're in the urban community, you were affected by the drug. Now, what I was saying the other night to Andre was, you can go to a crackhead and get medical advice, sound medical advice, sound spiritual advice. You can get history. You can get anything from a crackhead. They were not crazy. Okay, they knew what they were talking about. They had home remedies if your stomach hurt, if you had a fever, if you were sick with anything. They knew how to treat and heal because they learned from their ancestors, right? So what I'm saying is, a lot of people now, we're in a parallel universe with that era, and a lot of our kids now are becoming woke. And you know, I consider myself very awake, and but it's a difference because either you're older and you're younger, and the two are using drugs. Back then, you only had one group of people that would stop talking while I'm talking, that were using drugs, right? And that was the elders. You had little kids that experimented, but they weren't all drugged out the way they are now. So what I'm saying is this. People that go to college now are dumber than crackheads in the 80s. Why is that? The more we learn as African Americans, the stupider we get, right? In terms of the education that they put out, because we're not using the education that our ancestors had. We're not utilizing that, and a lot of it isn't around because a lot of us don't cultivate our culture. We have a culture, by the way. Stop letting people say you don't have a culture. You have a culture. It's very rich and diverse. You have culture. So anyway, now you have people, the kids, they're using drugs. So it's mirroring that same time period. So what I want you to know is that if they can make it from where they were with the knowledge that they had, we can do it now too. Even kids who feel like they're struggling with drugs or whatever, you have time to get it together. You don't have to stay in bondage for weed, because the weed that you're smoking right now is a drug. It is not medicinal. It cannot help you do anything because you're not even taking it the right way. If you want to use weed to heal yourself, you need to be using the oil, okay, the resin, not taking your lungs and hurting your lungs and inhaling it like that way. So, and then, like I said, then you're smoking a hybrid that isn't even no good for you. Strands, moon rocks, and all these different strands of things that are hurting you. They're mixing stuff. You don't need that stuff. Okay? So I say all that to say, you can be woke and not be on drugs. Because for some reason, people feel like they got to grow dreads and smoke weed in order to be spiritually connected. You don't. Open up a book. Teach yourself. It's not all about going to college or school, but it's about education. And retaining education, not just to memorize it for a test, but to actually apply it. How can you apply what you're learning? And then you got to teach the younger generation. So, let's do it. Let's do it. We are in that era again. It's a renaissance. It's a resurgence. We're in the 8. If we're saying we're 35 years into the crack epidemic, we break it down. It's the 8. 8 is a resurgence, a resurrection. We can have a new renaissance of Black people with businesses while we're boycotting people. Instead of putting energy into boycotting, let's build up our own. All right? So I know it's a little all over the place. That's how this mind thinks. And sit down with it and you'll understand what I'm saying. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It was deep. A little deep. All right. And I got a hater. I got some haters. But I'm cool with that. But I got, this is what I do. And this is how I'm going to do it. Family, I don't need angles and letters, stuff popping out of the sky, drone work. This is what we're doing. This is a family shit. You know what I'm saying? But what's not to like about us? We're lovable. So anyway, I got a hater, and I had to address hate mail as well as fan mail. So hate mail, you got to answer. Are you happy? I ain't quitting. I'm still here. Because everybody cheering ain't caring. Remember that. FRIENDINYOURPOCKET says so. So with that being said, we love you all, Hope Nation. Be blessed and mwah!